one of the major shifts that we're seeing in the draft is the reintroduction of tax credits for capital expenditures and lease costs. How should manufacturers approach that opportunity when the time comes?
Yeah, so I think if I was to give any advice on that side, it would be start planning. Again, this is draft legislation. I fully expect it to be legislated very soon. But this is the time to start planning. If there are large capital expenditures that have just been just a little bit out of reach, but they're tied to some sort of engineering or scientific experimentation, and you think it's going to, really extend your capabilities or what have you, and you just couldn't buy that machine to have your engineers work on it to see if they can make it work. This is the time to start sharpening the pencil to kind of go, okay, what is the cost barrier to getting this piece of equipment in? Does it make sense to lump that into a SR&ED, an R&D project? And if so, does 40% of the capital cost make a difference? And if it does, this is a good time to start. I wouldn't push go on the purchase order yet, but I would start sharpening the pencil because it's probably a good time to do that planning and get your ducks in a row, basically. Once it's legislated, have at it. The legislation, once it's passed, you'll be able to basically claim that SR&ED on the next tax year. The only other thing I would say to manufacturers is doing a little bit of a retrospective pencil sharpening. If there are projects that have been undertaken that were experimental of nature in the last 10 months, basically since December 16th, any fiscal years that ended, but from December 16th to whenever it's legislated, basically any fiscal years that ended in there, the expenses, as long as they're SR&ED eligible under this new guideline, will be eligible. So some companies may have actually filed their taxes for a fiscal year, say they're a June year end or something. They can actually go back and say, okay, well, this we bit the bullet, we bought the device, we put it together, put it in after December 16, and we've been experimenting using it. But we can actually, under this legislation, we can claim that and refile our taxes. So you can recapture credits that were, you basically had earned, but the legislation wasn't in place yet. So that December 16th date is an important one. So as I say, good for planning. And once legislated, or even now, going back to identify those assets that might be related to shreddable activities and potentially refiling your taxes once there is legislation.